Hey, good morning. It is April 28th, Bob Rapp here, and I'm going through the first tutorial that is typically when you're working in the designer, whether you're working in automated designer, the regular designer, or in notebooks, you're going to go through this sample for automobile price regression. So just so you know, if you're looking to search for it here, you could probably search for something like right here, predict automobile prices with designer. So I'm just going to go through this kind of on a stepwise improvement and get rid of that notebook there. And I'm going to go into Big Network Company here, look at Launch Studio. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you what I might use if I were going to use Designer with the pre-built modules. And by the way, if you haven't seen the samples, there's some pretty amazing samples in here, including actually using your own code so you can import your own models. But we're going to go ahead and use the automobile regression. There's two automobile regressions. One is, and I'm going to go ahead and select my compute target here. So there's some things going on here that I'm in the actual tutorial we don't typically show. So what we typically do is we say, bring in the automotive price data, select the columns in the data set, and when we select the columns, if you actually look at the output settings here, when we edit the columns, what we say is include all columns, but exclude the column called normalized losses. Okay, so that's the first thing we do there. Then we say clean missing data. And we say clean all columns, and where you have a missing value, remove the entire row. Okay. But in the tutorial, and that's why I'm kind of doing a combination of the tutorial here, is when we talk about splitting the data, we actually, for this demo, split it two different ways. We use boosted decision tree regression and forest decision tree regression. Now, the problem with this is for a citizen data scientist, the conversation about boosted decision tree versus forest or other kinds of algorithms is interesting. So I'm going to point you to what's called the algorithm cheat sheet. There it is. And it's something that's worth taking a look at if you are new to data science. This is in a link that I've included already. So this is basically, it says, what do you want to do? And if you look at regressions, right, it says we want to predict a value. In this case, we're trying to predict the price of a car. So we said, well, there's boosted decision tree, right, boosted forest. And so the difference in the two algorithms that we've chosen today in the sample, one is accurate and fast, but takes a lot of memory. The other was accurate and fast, probably slightly less accurate, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have different algorithms. And just like any recipe, each algorithm is going to give you a slightly different output. Then what's going on here is we're going to train the model, and splitting the data is really pretty simple. We say take 70% of the data and keep it for training, and then reserve the rest for the actual scoring, right? So we're going to look at how did boosted decision tree do versus decision forest regression. We're going to score the model, and then here we're going to view the output, right? So that's actually after we've already run it. And by the way, if I wanted to, I could export it to code, I could clone it. So I'm going to go ahead and just publish this model, and I'm going to create a new endpoint called quick, let's see, demo. This is demo 12, okay? And it says, I need to set a data node here. I'm like, oh, right, I need a place to put this to submit this and publish it, right? So publish succeeded. Now I can go to the pipeline endpoint. So we go down here, where's the pipeline here? And we say, we can just pick one of our endpoints. And so when we look at publishing an endpoint, again, I'm going to call this demo 11. this gives us a chance to actually go look at the endpoints and actually connect to them. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of this is a quick, we got some pipeline endpoints here, and we've got a shared endpoint here, where the published pipelines here. Okay. So anyway, just wanted, and it tells us this is our REST endpoint. And then if we were going to be working on code today, we go, let's look at that API, that endpoint, and we would connect it. We don't have to know all of the details behind this. So anyway, quick summary. Hopefully we'll chat later today. Thanks.